fantasy baseball fanatics. How you doing? Welcome to the Fantasy MD's Baseball Podcast. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. This is our 15th episode. Your host, Dominic Martino. Here with my co-host, as always, Matthew Ane. Matt, what's up, brother? I'm a little excited today. I'm chomping at the bit already.
No, it's great, man. I'm excited here. This is going to be a great weekend of baseball. I'm going to be at a game. It's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah, there we go, brother. I'm fully excited, man. I'm super excited for this one. We're gonna have a lot of fun on the episode today. We're going to start with finger on the pulse. That's our little segment. We've been trying to do it every episode. We're going to, hopefully going forward, remember to do it every episode. A nice little segment here at the beginning where we touch upon something, in baseball that we're feeling, just a little MD's vibes for you guys, And today we're gonna start with a big one. That's CJ Crone leading the league in home runs with 6 so far, looking absolutely fantastic. Just give myself a little pat on the back here for that one. If you listen to the first base episode, when Matt and I got outside of the top 10, we each picked a guy that we liked. And my guy was CJ Crone. Got him on a couple of teams, and I'm really excited. So far in 48 at-bats, he's got 10 runs, 16 hits, 6 bombs, 16 RBIs, and he's hitting .333. Off to a hot start, and I'll read you off what he did last year too. Building off of that great year last year in 142 games with the Colorado Rockies. Once again, CJ Crone had 470 at bats, 70 runs, 28 bombs, 92 RBIs, and he hit .281. So my little prediction here is I think he builds off of what he did last year. I think if he keeps it up at this rate, I'm not guaranteeing he's going to, but if he can keep up similar to this rate, I think 40 bombs ain't out of the question. I think another 280 batting average isn't out of the question. And the Rockies are off to a hot start. If anyone's been paying attention, with KB there looking good, Elias Diaz, McMahon, they got a couple of little sneaky guys there that are, keeping them afloat with the rest of the teams in that division. Pretty tough division. But if you got CJ Crone right now, I think you hold. I'm not selling high on him unless you get a blow me away offer. I really think that he's going to be a standout this year. One of those guys that's a breakout, and in Colorado, and a year under his belt, he finally, breaking out here late in the career. Matt, any thoughts on CJ Crone?
I mean, the kid's looking great. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm happy that you get to take your victory lap today. But
thank you, my brother.
One thing I would say is I'm not trying to move him per se, but I wouldn't mind floating an offer out to somebody that owns Acuna or somebody that has somebody big that's sitting on the IL right now. It's going to be back soon. Somebody that's probably struggling right off the bat and could possibly be looking for that boost. So, I don't know if somebody's going to accept it. You may have to package it, but shoot, I'd be looking
package him with an ace, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you might be able to scoop him out from under and, turn him into, your waiver wire free 99 player into Acuna. So that'd be fire.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Let's move on to the news.
Yeah, as you were saying though, Matt, why don't you lead there? Acuna's looking great so far in his rehab start. One thing I just will throw out there, my cool little stat here on that. Acuna smashed a double, and it was just off of a great pitching prospect to Marlins' number one pitching prospect, Max Meyer. But Matt, I'll let you take the lead off there. You can do your Acuna rant and what you think the outlook on him is.
So, I mean, we all know he had the ACL last year in the middle of the season, and, it was unfortunate. But, it's looking really, really, really good. I mean, I didn't even expect him to be in a rehab start. I was waiting for next week, honestly. It's a little bit ahead of time. And on top of that, if anybody watched a little, instant replay, how fast he got the second on that double that pretty much was a bomb, he got there in 5 seconds. So he's looking like he's up to speed already. You know what? It's a good sign. He's probably going to stay the bases where I didn't think he was going to get in the postseason before the season started. And the fact that he already played outfield as well, it's not like he was just playing DH is another big thing because that means he's going to be playing outfield when he comes up. And that means they're probably not going to hold him back for them steals. So, we're going to have something pretty good here for him. That's really just about it.
Yeah,
Dom.
no, I agree with you there on Acuna. He looks great so far. He played 6 innings out there today. I don't know if you mentioned that, Matt. He played 6 innings,
Mhm.
all in right field. So that's fantastic to see. I think he's going to be on back on track way sooner than later. I think the outlook is fantastic on him, man. I think if you have him, if you took him early in drafts this year, he's going to pay off. He's one of the best players in the league when healthy. Literally, in my opinion, top three. He's right up there with Tatis, Vlad, Soto as well. So I guess you got a nice little top four there with those guys. And I mean, I guess you could throw in Jose Ramirez the way he's playing right now as well. But great outlook on him, guys. We're happy here at the MDs to see that Acuna is back doing his thing. So we'll keep it pushing here. On to the next big piece of news for us. Looks like Lucas Giolito is going to be back pretty soon. It looks like him and Tony La Russa came out and said that he is going to start this Sunday against the Twins. It's good news. He had that little ab issue there, a little tied up early in the season. Um, that's really it on him, Matt. Any thoughts there on Giolito besides, he's going to hopefully get back to form. He looks good in that first start.
Let's keep it trucking.
Yeah, all right, my brother. Also, in the news and notes, Shane Baz working his way back. Looks like he should be back sooner than later. He started off the year on the injured list. He had arthroscopic surgery on the right elbow. Once again, working his way back. I think the outlook is sometime in possibly May. But besides that, anything else, Matt? Anything you want to throw on Shane Baz, one of the top prospects in baseball? If he's out there, I'd say add him, if you got the extra IL spot.
I don't think he's sitting out there on the waiver wire for years. Definitely do. But what I would, you could kind of tell I'm like a trade fiend over here. I probably got a little addiction going on. But I'd probably try and acquire him on the cheap. Kind of like downplay him to the owner, and as soon as you can come up with, you could probably get off with somebody that you picked up off waiver wires and try and snag him. He's going to be an ace for the rest of the year, essentially. So I would probably make that move.
Yeah, I'm just actually trying to pull up his ownership percentage here. I do have him. He's at 66% on Yahoo, so I think that's actionable. If he is out there, I'd be looking around this time to add before he really starts ramping up and everyone gets the news and notifications. That's why we're here at the MDs, just trying to keep you guys updated on everything that's going on in the world of fantasy baseball. So with that in mind, here's one that we can't really help you too much with. Steven Strasberg with that neck and shoulder, still not really a timetable for him. Dave Martinez, the manager, came out of the Washington Nationals and said that the possibility of him returning next month is a little bit in doubt because he's still not really out there throwing or anything amongst the lines of that. So I like Baz over him at this point. If you have him on your team and you need to drop somebody, he could be a drop. I'm not too excited about the outlook on Strasburg. I mean, when he's healthy, he's a great pitcher, but he hasn't been healthy since 2019, and we're in 2022 at this point. So,
yep, drop him like it's hot, and just
yeah, give him the old Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hot. All right,
yes,
so keep it pushing here. Man, this is a sad one as a Yankee fan to talk about, but Garrett.
I'm gonna just turn this to the back. That shouldn't even hear it.
Yeah, so far Garrett Cole's off to a tough start, man, and I'll read you off his numbers here. So far in 3 starts, Cole's got a 6.35 ERA and 11.1 innings, 12 Ks. He's given up 3 home runs, 7 walks, 8 earned runs. It's just then the WHIP is 1.41. It's not looking good here for Garrett Cole. My personal opinion is that he will turn it around here at some point, but is he a top 10 pitcher anymore, man? I think that's a great question. Matt, what do you think right now? I'm not sure if I think I'm moving him outside of my top 10, to be honest with you. It's a tough outlook here with Garrett Cole.
I mean, how do I look at it? So I wouldn't let the hate go too far.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So he's still Garrett Cole. And I mean, what he did last year, having the year he did, which I'll read that off for everybody. Oh, and I just killed it. So never mind.
I got you. It's a last year. Garrett Cole went 16-8 with a 3.23 ERA. That was across 30 starts. He 181 innings. He had 243 strikeouts and a 105 whip.
Right.
So great line, great line.
So I mean, that kind of production just doesn't just disappear. You know, who knows what he changed to kind of compensate for losing out on that spider glue and all that wonderful
Spider
stuff.
tack, yeah.
That thing. So, let's see what happens. It's still early. If he's doing this in 2 weeks, then you fear for your life. If I'm a smart, savvy owner, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm looking to acquire him. I'd probably throw somebody that is an illusion as well at him and kind of try and snag him on the cheap, because Garrett Cole could be like the number one pitcher in baseball again. So, there's
Matt,
probably
how
somebody
about this?
like
I got a question for you, and I already know your answer, but for the average Acuna owner, if somebody comes at you and they throw Garrett Cole and CJ Crone, and it's not dynasty, let's just talk redraft. If you get an offer, CJ Crone and Garrett Cole redraft, you taking that for Acuna? I think you got to consider it.
I consider it, but I don't think
not keeper or dynasty. Obviously, not in keeper or dynasty. Acuna's too valuable, but in a redraft, you got to think about that one.
I wouldn't
in a 1 year scenario.
I don't know.
You get yourself an ace and a possible bat. I know you're going to miss out on steals, and I'm not saying I would do it, but I think that's a questionable move at this point.
I mean, you're kind of getting the value back with Cole in terms of where you drafted him on draft capital.
Yeah.
But the only way I'm doing that is if my first base is putrid and I don't have somebody.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, I'm probably going to keep Acuna, especially with the fact that he'll be back in 2 weeks. It would have to be. I mean, actually, then again, that's a lot. Yeah, no, I might do it.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. At this point, it's like, you know what, with the Garrett Cole looking the way he is, because if Garrett Cole is healthy, they're probably not offering you that deal. Yeah. But we don't want to sit on this too much. Matt, one last question for you there. Do you think you're still gonna have Garrett Cole in your top 10 after that bad start?
I'm gonna let him ride one more start, and then he might start dropping down.
Fair enough, my brother. All right, so we're going to keep it pushing here, keep you guys informed like, we always do. We're moving on to Luis Castillo. It looks like he's on his way back as well. I'm pulling up the details for you there. Luis Castillo has been a very good pitcher in the past. Last year he had a really bad start, but finished strong there in the second half. So it looks like he's going to make his rehab start. When is he going to make it? I have it pulled up here. It's just not giving me the date. Sunday. All right, there we go. Matt, you take over, my brother.
Yeah.
What are thoughts on Luis Castillo coming back here?
I mean, it's going to be nice. Let's see what happens. If he's available, which let me see. I think he was pretty highly owned. He's at 91%.
Yeah, he's highly owned.
I don't see him doing it. I also, he's not a guy I'm going to go out and acquire like how I'm talking about the other guys. Kind of like a change of pace for me. But, if I have him, I'm pretty excited to get him back, especially with all these injuries going on. Hopefully you're not one of those guys that lost all these big names. But if you did, this will be a nice little addition to your rotation, at least, because it'll somewhat make up for it. I mean, I really want to see him bounce back. I think he's going to. But, there is that possibility that he doesn't. But, even if he comes out and has one bad start in the bigs, I'm going to probably just chalk it up and I'm going to wait for 2 or 3. And we'll see how it rolls. It all depends on who his first matchup is and whether I'm even going to play him his first matchup up. But, that's really just about it.
Yeah, guys. So just the good news. He's going to be on his way back soon and hopefully helps you in fantasy team mount if you got him. Moving on here. It looks like, and this is just a brand new update 58 minutes ago from 58 minutes ago, from MLB.com. Looks like Jose Altuve has officially landed on the 10-day IL. He's got a little strained left hamstring going on here. They called up some young kid named JJ Matovich. I'm probably botching that because I've never heard of the kid before, but he was hitting .310 with 4 homers and 10 RBIs. Okay, this is just news to me, guys, too. So I'm just getting aboard the bandwagon here myself. Looks like the kid has got some talent here. I would say throw him on the waiver wire right now. Possibly go out there and grab him if you need him and you're in a deep league. The kid's got good numbers there. That's JJ Matijevic for anyone that needs to know. I'm just going to leave it at that. Go out there and give him a look because he had great numbers there in the minors. It's a good lineup in Houston. They've been raking. Jordan Alvarez hit 2 home runs the other day, but Altuve himself has been off to a tough start. So let's focus on Altuve a little bit here. After a hot year, I'm going to read you his stat line so far, and not looking good at all. He is had 36 at bats. He's hitting 167, 1 home run, 2 steals, 6 hits and 2 runs. So off to a tough start here for Altuve. I think he's a buy low. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he gets that hamstring right. I think he's going to bounce back, and maybe he doesn't reach last year's numbers, but I think he can get you pretty close. I'll read you off what he did last year real quick. Last year, Altuve bounce back year, 146 games, 601 at bats. I believe he led the league in runs at 117. He had 31 bombs, 83 RBI, 5 steals, and he had 278. So I think he can get you close to those numbers, maybe a little bit shy of them with the injury here. It depends on how long he hangs on that IL. But he would be somebody I'd be looking to buy low on. I'm not going out there and looking to spend a lot on him, but I think if you can get him on the cheap, go ahead and take the shot.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take. I think you covered it. So I guess let's just move on to the next guy, which is Austin Reilly. Unfortunately, somebody has passed in his family, so he's going on bereavement. So, our love and prayers are with his family. And,
Yes,
just make adjustments accordingly. We're just bringing it up just so that you guys know to adjust for the weekend because he's probably going to be out till Monday. So.
Yes, sir. We'll keep it pushing there. Just wanted to point out a quick little closer note because we're not really going to talk too much about that position today. I wanted to throw out there that Josh Stalmount has got the last 2 saves for Kansas City. Looks like he's taking the job from Scott Barlow. Adjust accordingly. Go out there and I'd say add him in any leagues that are you need a closer, you need to pick up saves. I actually like him a lot over than the closers we talked about last week, so go out and I'd say he's a ad, definitely like a ad right now, like pause podcast, go pick him up if you need closers. That's how I feel about him. Matt, I don't know if you feel the same way, but he's supposed to be a pretty good guy. Everything I've heard about him is good.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, too, just since we're talking about closers, Anthony Bender's still out there at 51%
Yes,
ownage. So he's another one that's valuable if you're hurting. So honestly, if you're like Dom and probably didn't draft the closer at all this year.
Hey, I've improved my closer situation. I don't want to hear it. I'm doing a little bit better at the moment. I got David Robertson, who I told everyone to go pick up, and he's holding it down right now. That's what. And Andrew Kittredge got me a good save the other day too. But we're not going to get into all that. I'm hanging around.
Right, but quick, just keep it.
Yeah, I know.
Scoop him up, Dom.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, right. I might have to pick him up. All right. So keep you guys informed here. Looks like Christian Vasquez is hitting the COVID IL. So keep an eye out there for your Boston Red Sox. Maybe something happens with them. Maybe something does it, but keep the eye out there. Once again, guys, I'm just going to throw this out there. I know a couple people were looking for replacement catchers. We talked about him yesterday. We're talking about it again in 2 seconds. Elias Diaz, Colorado Rockies. You want to hear more? Go back to yesterday's episode. To keep it pushing, we're going to talk about a few guys that have hit the IL. It looks like actually another COVID situation might be going on in Cleveland. They've had 3 guys hit the COVID IL in the past day. Owen Miller, Cal Quantrill, and I forgot the third one. I don't think it's as actionable as the first 2. So just again, adjust accordingly. There might be a little situation in Cleveland. Jose Ramirez owners, I hope you have a backup third baseman on your lineup. If not, go out there and get one just in case. All right, another one that sucks because we just talked about him yesterday. It looks like Andrew Heaney hit the IL. I'm going to pull up the exact injury here in a second for you, but it really stinks. I'm not sure what the Dodgers are going to do as far as the rotation goes. We'll keep you guys updated when we hear anything. I haven't heard anything yet as far as the specifics on Heaney. He was placed on the 10-day injured list with left shoulder discomfort, so that you never want to hear that. That's bad news. Anything on the shoulder is never good. We'll keep you guys updated. As for right now, just stash him. I think if it's a minor thing, you hang on to him for now. If it's a big thing, you just cut him.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to see his hot streak go away this quick or this way.
It was bound to happen.
But
it was bound to happen.
I can say I told you so.
Bound to happen. Bound to happen, man. It's a juice the orange situation here with Andrew Heaney.
Yeah.
If you ride it as long as you can.
Yeah.
But to keep it pushing here, looks like Alex Cobb, who was off to a hot start. Another guy I mentioned in the preseason there. So if you were listening, you probably got him on your team, but he did hit the IL. Once again, I'm going to give you the exacts there in a minute. Him and Alex Wood have both looked great so far, by the way, for the San Francisco Giants. It looks like he's got a groin injury here. Doesn't look like it's going to be too serious, but I'm not really too worried about it. Once again, he's a guy who I do like, so you just throw him on the IL for now and you see where it goes. He's probably a little bit below some of the other guys that we've talked about, though, some of those bigger name pitchers that are hitting the IL. But I do like Alex Cobb if you do have the spot there for him. I think he's going to have a good year.
Yeah. You just kind of move on, keep trucking, because I don't think he's going to come back in any kind of shape either. But, this is another unfortunate news. This is called the IL section. And
yeah, this is what it's called.
This guy is a little bit more upsetting for me, and that's Casey Mize. I was expecting a really big year from him. Luckily, it doesn't look like TJ. They're getting a second opinion. It's more of an elbow strain, and, they don't see him out for, a long period of time, but they're going to be cautious because he's a young stud pitcher. And, it's one of those things where I believe he has a nasty slider. So that's a lot of what usually causes TJ. So, they're probably going to be a little bit more reserved. I don't see him back for a month, but, if somebody dropped him, I'd probably add him. That's just me. If I didn't have 7 guys on the IL right now, I'd probably already have him sitting on my IL.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys this. I dropped them in a few leagues today. To be honest, it was a tough cut, but with all these guys hitting the IL, it's just that you got to prioritize who you like and who you don't like. Not that I don't like Casey Mize, but with the specific news that came out that they're going to baby him, I don't like to hear that at all. And with the elbow injury, this could be just you don't see Casey Mize till after the All-Star break, which is just what stinks. I was very high on him coming into this year. I drafted him in almost all my leagues, but like I said, with the type of injury, the elbow. It's going to be tough for him, and I really don't see him coming back anytime soon. I think you could feel free to drop him at this point if you got other IL injuries that you want to prioritize. That's just how I feel. Last one here is kind of interesting. Something a little crazy happened yesterday, and it's always fun to see crazy stuff happen in baseball as long as nobody's getting hurt. So Luke Voight decides he's going to, be a beast animal like he is and slide into home and collide with Tyler Stevenson and the two big boys just smashing into each other. It didn't look great, but I don't know. Some people were saying intentional. I really didn't get to see a lot of it, so I'm not sure. But it came out afterwards that Tommy Pham wants to fight Luke Voight because he knows a boxing gym in San Diego because he used to play for the Padres. So I don't know, a whole bunch of crazy stuff. But Tyler Stevenson has hit the IL due to that collision. It's crazy, to be honest. Once again, if you need a catcher, go get Elias Diaz. Matt, thoughts here on Luke Voight just being crazy because he hasn't hit a goddamn thing so far?
Yeah, I think if anything, this is kind of like a good thing for him because, the guy got traded right before the season, probably hasn't even unpacked a single box yet. So he'll probably get his life in order and then probably come back and start hitting some balls. So, it's a good thing. He's probably going to get a nice 10 days off where he can, focus on his family and his life and come back with a clear head. So, you know what? Honestly, people dropped him. I'm probably scooping him up as he's getting ready to come back. And, I expect to see a better side of Luke Voight. So, but I think we can move on to the next section here.
Yeah, Matt. All right, let's go on. So now we want to get into here. We're going to talk about some pitchers that we like to add for, the upcoming few days that we're going to really call this our week 2 pitcher section here. I'm going to start with somebody that I went out and picked up today. And actually, I'd like to pull up the article if I can, but that's Paul Blackburn of the Oakland Athletics. He had a great first 2 starts here. I know the first one came against Tampa Bay, which is a great team and doing well so far. It was a 7 strikeout, 5-inning game. But the big thing here is, if I could find the article that I was reading earlier, they were talking about how he has this new curveball that he's working on, and he's getting a lot of swings and misses on it. So he's very improved as a 28-year-old here. I know he hasn't had a great track record so far, but hear me out. The thing is, if you're adding a new pitch to your arsenal or you're looking to change something, and he's also added a mile-an-hour and velocity on the fastball. So, if you're adding velocity and you have a new pitch that's showing successful, I think that's always good to see. And the second outing came against the Toronto Blue Jays, which is another great hot team. He handled them for, I believe it was another five inning outing, and only 3 strikeouts in that one, but he's not really a huge strikeout guy. So I'm not looking for a lot of strikeouts from him. I think you can go get Paul Blackburn for like nothing right now. I believe he's only 15% owned as of when I picked him up today on Yahoo. So I think he's a little sneaky ad. If you're hurting at starting pitching, somebody you could take a look at. He's made a couple changes, as I mentioned, and you give him a shot. If he's not good, his next outing is actually tomorrow against Baltimore. Once again, today's Wednesday, so I'm not really helping you out too much with that. But I think you go out there and you can add him for his next start after that if he shows out against Baltimore like I think he's going to. Matt, any thoughts on Paul Blackburn?
I think he's a nice ad. Screw you for getting him before me. And I think that he's probably the number 1 or 1A, 1B to the pitcher pickup for the weekend. And I think that you pick him up with confidence. And I think we just roll into Corey Kluber, who is doing a lot better than I thought he would this season. And I'm pretty intrigued. I'm on the cusp of actually picking him up as we speak, but at the same time, I might not pull the trigger. But
it's just enough. It's a tough start in his next outing.
Yeah,
he gets Boston. So that's the thing that, once again, guys, it's tough to be actionable on guys right away. They might not have a great start ahead of them. It's early in the season. It's tough, but you like guys that are good, the guys that show quality, right? So I think Corey Kluber, he may not go out there and pitch great against Boston, but he may have a nice matchup after that. So I'll read you his stats so far from the year. So far, it's only 2 starts, a 1.86 ERA, 9.2 innings, 9 Ks, a 1.13 whip. Last year before he got hurt, he was pretty good for the Yankees. He threw a no-hitter. I think Tampa, once again, I feel like I did this rant yesterday, but I'll do it again today for anyone that didn't hear. It's a new day, so new type of rant here. But the thing is, Tampa's good at managing their starters, and I think they're going to do the same here with Kluber. I'll leave it at that. If we we'll keep it pushing here. Let's go with the next guy. Young kid Jordan Hicks finally, after a bunch of maybe will he, won't he get the start, he's officially getting his first shot in the rotation coming up. It's against the Miami Marlins. Matt, if that's one you want to go out there and do, I kind of like that matchup better. I'll as my boy, I'll throw that one your way if you want to, if you need one. I know everyone needs a pitcher right now, but he showed promise so far. I'm going to read you. Okay, he didn't play during 2020, and in last year he only threw 10 innings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a combination of 2018 and 2019. So across that time period, it was 106.1 innings, 3.47 ERA, 101 strikeouts. The whip's a little high with a 1.23, but you know what? As he's 25 this year and he's off to a pretty good start this season, and he throws 100 miles an hour. I mean, I don't know if he's on the Hunter Green level, but I think he has some promise. Let's see if he can go out there and maneuver against this Miami Marlins lineup in his first start. They got Jazz and Jesus Sanchez, Matt's boy. Really the only guys you really got to worry about in that lineup. So if he could, work around them too, I think he can go out there and have a decent start. I'm probably not expecting more than maybe 4 innings, 5 tops if he goes out there and he looks fantastic, because as I said, he's only thrown 4 innings so far this year. But I think it's somebody that you go out there and you take the shot on. I'm going to pull up his ownership percentage while Matt
14%. So it's 14%.
There we go. Got my back. Go ahead, Matt.
He's not somebody I'm rushing to go get, but you know what? He's intriguing. I think if he has a good start against Miami this weekend and he doesn't let Jose Sanchez just, crush the ball on him Jesus Sanchez, I apologize.
I almost did the same thing.
Crush the ball on him this weekend like he's doing on everybody. Then I think, he's probably worth an ad. But, if you're desperate, maybe, but I would just hold off, watch the list, and let's see what he does.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. I mean, here's the tough thing, though, is because if he goes out there and he shows out against Miami, he's going to be a great pickup and everyone's going to be on it. I'll tell you this. If you have the spot right now and, some of these other guys that we mentioned already picked up in your league, I say take the chance on him. I think there's a chance that he goes out there and he's pretty good. Moving on to another guy, he's more owned here, but I would say he's good enough that I want to mention him. That's Carlos Carrasco of the New York Mets that have also been playing pretty well so far. I'm going to give you his ownership percentage. He's 68% owned on Yahoo, so he hasn't hit that 70 threshold yet. I think he should be probably almost 100% owned at this point because Carlos Carrasco has been a great pitcher almost his whole career. He's been dealing with a lot of up and down injuries the last few years, though, so I'm not going to go out there and really hold too much of that against him. I'll give you his stats so far this year. In 2 starts, he has a 0.84 ERA across 10.2 innings, 13 Ks. He's only walked 2. He's got an 0.65 whip. He's looked absolutely fantastic so far. Now, once again, I know he had a really bad 2021 and a really bad 2019. But other than that, going back to 2014, the guy's been super consistent. And once again, I forget the specifics of the injuries he's been dealing with. And I believe one of them was even a really bad one.
It's cancer.
So, yes, right. See, I didn't want to say it. Thank you for
he had lymphoma, so he had to take off the only reason he didn't play in 2020 was because he was going through chemo and he didn't want to risk getting COVID. So, and he finally bounced back. So more power to him. The only thing I'm going to say about Carrasco is he's had 2 very light matchups. So he played Washington and he played Arizona.
Yes, that's true.
He is rolling into San Francisco, so I would probably
let's see how he does.
So he's definitely at least worth the start. Long-term outlook, let's see how he does when he gets a real hard team. But right now, he's an ad while he's playing all these cushion games. I think next week he might be going up against the Phillies, so that'll be his real test. And we can roll from there. But next guy is
Josiah Gray.
Josiah Gray, and
Washington Nationals.
Exactly. So they actually need a pitcher pretty bad. So thank God this kid's come to town. So far he's looking pretty good. His last start against Arizona. Wow, they played Arizona too. He had a really nice game. He caught the win. He got 8 Ks, 1.69 ERA with a 94 whip. Looks real good. And his game before that, he played Atlanta, got the W, got 5 Ks, gave up no runs, and had an 80.8 whip. So, he's looking pretty good. I think that, at this point, you can confidently add him with confidence and, roll him out there each and every week until we see something else happen.
Well, all right. Well, here's the thing. I'd say I'd hold the horses on rolling him out against everybody. I think he looks good so far. He came over in the trade last year, Matt. If you want to look that up, where he came from, I know what I am going to say is he's 37% owned here on Yahoo. Came over in the trade last year. Forget exactly from where and what the trade was, but he was a big time prospect. He looks good so far, but the control is an issue with the 1.33 whip so far. I want to see him get that control under, looking a little bit better, getting better command of the plate. He has the San Francisco Giants, which is going to be a tough matchup for him upcoming. The thing is, you said he looks good against the Braves, which is awesome. Very tough team, but he struggled against the Mets in his first outing. So I would like to see how he looks against the Giants before I'm going to rush out and add him. I think honestly he might be the low man out of everybody we spoke about so far. I might have him over Jordan Hicks, but I like everybody else we spoke about over Josiah Gray so far, in my opinion. I think he could be a big strikeout guy, but I'm not sure how well that ERA and whip are going to hold up. I mean, I just got to see more out of him than this one big start against Arizona.
So I'm just going to say this. One, he came from the Dodgers in the trade for Trey Turner.
Yes, that's what it was. I knew it was a big one. That's why I wanted you to pull it up. Thank you.
So one thing I'm going to say is, coming out of the Dodgers who, just poop out, pitchers like there's no tomorrow. The fact that he's doing this against Atlanta is vote of confidence in my book. And, he really didn't get too much of a shy over at the Dodgers because, he was breaking into that lineup. Right?
Yeah. No, exactly. Yes. He got most of his stats when he came over last year.
Right. So it's encouraging, even though he had a 5.48 ERA. Not all those games are good. Not all the games are bad. So I think this year he's building on what he learned last year, and I think there's some good upside on him. And the reason why I'm saying just play him till he drops is because of all the injuries. And I like him better than Kluber because I think Kluber it's going to fall out from under him. Jordan Hicks. You know what? This is going to be his first first start, and he was rolling with the bullpen when he was getting actually.
I'll give you Jordan Hicks because we haven't seen it yet. But
right.
I'm gonna take me personally. I'm taking Kluber over him at this point because I don't think he has great control yet. Once again, last year the WHIP was a 1.35 across 70 innings, and it's a 1.32 already this year. So he hasn't really shown me improvement in that department. The ERA is a 3.14. Once again, we don't like to get too crazy on this podcast with crazy stats, but we talked about FIP a couple of times. Once again, just going to bring it up here. It's fielding independent pitching. It's kind of an ERA indicator. It lets you know how they would be with average fielding around them. And it's a 4.03. So it's just saying that he's getting kind of lucky here a little bit so far, in my opinion. And I know what I'm getting with Corey Kluber as long as he's not hurt. So I have Kluber over him in this, in my opinion so far. And I did say he's 37% owned in Yahoo, though, Josiah Gray. So if any of these other guys haven't been taken, or if you agree with Matt more than you agree with me, go out there and pick him up. He's still out there in a bunch of leagues. So we got one more guy here for you left in our segment here, and that's Matt Brash, somebody who I'm pretty high on. A lot of people are high on at this point. He's looked good so far. He was a high-end prospect coming up. He pitches for the Seattle Mariners, and I'm going to read you off his full stat line so far. I will say this: in his first start, he was some of the pitching indicators that a lot of the big time experts use were saying that his stuff rates very, very highly. So it's going to be interesting to see what Matt Brash can do here. So far in 2 starts, he has a 3.38 ERA, 10.2 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts. He has walked 7. So, I mean, that is pretty high. And the whip's pretty high, too, with a 1.21. But he is only 24 years old. His first taste of the bigs, figuring it out. I think he has amazing stuff. Once again, he's probably a little bit lower than some of these other guys we talked about here. Once again, I probably got Jordan Hicks at the bottom, Matt Brash above them. But I think he's comparable to a Josiah Gray. I think they're right there with each other. I think you could go out there and make your choice. I'm going to pull up how owned he is here for you, but he was a high-end prospect, so you can go out there and take a look. Matt, your thoughts here on Matt Brash?
I think he's a pick up and start. He's my number 2 guy on the out of this whole thing.
Okay.
I think, it's pretty much goes Blackburn, then Brash, 1A, 1B. So, I think that there's going to be a lot of long-term upside for him, being that he was a top-end prospect. I don't think, he's going to keep up what he's doing now, but I think that something along the lines of where he's going to be an impact and, that waiver wire first 2 pickups of the year that you're going to have for the whole season.
Damn, there's some big words there on him. He's 49% owned on Yahoo. I don't know if I have him there as high as Matt. I'll be honest with you. So we only got a few names here. I'll go ahead and I'll give you my rankings of them. I think if Carlos Carrasco is still out there by some chance, he's number 1, but he's 67% owned on Yahoo. So I don't think you have a chance with him. Then I'll go out there and I'll say Paul Blackburn is going to be my number 2. I'm going to be honest. I think Corey Kluber is my number 3, and you ride that until the wheels fall off because I think Tampa is going to be a good managing him. Then I probably got Matt Brash at 4, Josiah Gray at 5, and Jordan Hicks at 6. So once again, guys, that's 6 really, really good starting pitchers. Well, not really, really good, but really, really good for the waiver wire that the MDs are coming out here and providing for you. Matt, I don't know if you want to give us how you'd rank them as well.
So it'd probably be Blackburn, Brash.
Over Carrasco.
Well, Carrasco, I don't think you're getting him.
Okay, all right, yeah. So, but you would have Carrasco 1 though, right?
Probably after Blackburn. I think.
Damn, really? You that high on Blackburn?
Well, the thing is, I don't think I'm going to have Carrasco all year. So
okay, that's fair.
I don't think he's going to be this good in a month from now. Where I think Blackburn has that upside. So if I'm going to go out there and use my number 1 waiver priority, I'm going to use it on him. Yeah. So. And then I'd probably go Carrasco, then I go Kluber, then I go Gray, and then I go Hicks. So that's just where I'm at. I would love to say Hicks, but he's more of a wait and watch for me, at least. So that's kind of where I'm at. And,
I feel you.
Yeah. So there is one other person that I really want to talk about, and I really hate to just give this away to everybody in our league.
Go ahead.
But I'm even going to tell you. So, the name Zach Plesac sound familiar?
Yes.
So, Plesac had 2 good starts. And it's the name. He's 59% owned. And I'm kind of intrigued. I know that last year was an outright bust, but, 2020 was a season where he got his name name recognized. So I think he's somebody you put on the waiver wire or pick up because he's starting tomorrow against the White Sox. And I want to see what he does. I don't say you roll him out. I don't say you roll him out, but I say you watch and see what he does. And if he actually pitches and does Plesac things like he was doing in 2020, he's somebody you pick up immediately. So, you see what's going on with him. I'm very excited to see what he's going to do. And usually when I look at a pitcher, I'm pretty right.
I'll be honest with you, Matt. I'm going to disagree with you here on Plesac, and I'll go as far as to say that of everyone that we just spoke about, I'd have him dead last.
Well, he is last. That's why I brought him up last.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to be honest.
He's intriguing.
The thing is, I think it was a lot of smoke and mirrors the first 2 years of his career, as far as I'm concerned, and everything that I've heard about him, his stuff isn't great. He's not a good strikeout pitcher. He had one really good year, and it's an outlier. It was 55 innings. He's just not somebody that's for me. I'm letting somebody else go out and get Zach Plesac. I'm not adding him in any of my leagues, to be honest.
I understand.
Just my opinion. Just my opinion.
I understand. I think that, not for nothing, he's worth a look. He's a waiver wire.
If he goes out there and he does something good against the White Sox, okay, maybe I'll think about it. But it would be really dependent on who his next start is against. Because if his next start after that is against like Toronto or somebody, I'm still not starting him. Even if he does go out there and pitch good against the White Sox.
Well, right.
To me, he's a smoke and mirrors guy. To me, he's like, all right, maybe.
All right, hold on. Take your level down. You're intense today. You're like cutting me off. So,
go ahead. My bad.
So all I'm saying is, the reason why we're talking about waiver wires, we're talking about pitchers, everybody's going down. We want to see who we can pick up ahead of everybody else. This is why you listen to our show, right? So this is somebody I say put on the watch list or even add, and then you could drop him tomorrow after the start if he does take a dump. But if he does
59% owned, so yeah, I see what you're saying.
If he does do something, you take him and you roll with him and you see what he does. You know what? If that upside's back, if he figured it out what was wrong last year, maybe he changed his release point. Maybe there was a spin or a grip or something.
If he did, that'd be interesting.
Let's see what happens. So he's somebody that did very well, and we're going to at least give him a look and give him the respect he does for having a season 2 years ago that we were all like, oh, my God, I'm drafting him in the top 30 last year. So you know what? He could be a very nice bounce back candidate this year. So let's see what he does. And it's intriguing that he had 2 good starts.
Yeah, fair enough. I hear where you're coming from with that. Like I said, he's just not somebody that's for me. But hey, you know what? You could probably do worse than Zach Plesac right now with everyone that's gone down. Yeah, it's just tough out there right now in the world of starting pitching. That's why we tried to come here and give you this nice little episode, give you just a little, that little edge up on your opponents. But I think we're going to call it there, my brother, unless you got anything else you want to rant about.
No, you know what, guys? Just, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us a like, a rating, a review, everything under the sun. You got questions, DM, email at fantasymds@gmail.com. And you know what? You guys have a great weekend and enjoy some baseball.
Catch you next time.
Peace.